You are tuned in to What a Baltimore Online Radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are of the host and not of LadyJ Media. Thank you and enjoy the show. Hey y'all, get ready. You know what time it is. Spitfire Poetry is about to go down with your host, John Hansboro.
All right. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. I am your host, John Hansboro. It is Wednesday, August the 4th, 2021. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. We have some wonderful poets on today. I'm just going to get right into it. We got two wonderful gentlemen on, two wonderful dads, two wonderful black men. We got my brother, Jeremy Freedom Writer Johnson, and my brother, Paris White. Both of these brothers are from the DMV area, Baltimore DMV area. So we're just gonna get right into it, man. How you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good.
There you go. Good, good. All right. Jeremy has been on. This is Jeremy Freedom Writer's like second or maybe third time on here. So I'm gonna let Paris go ahead and go first so he can get warmed up. Jeremy really knows how this goes. But Paris, it's all love and fun here, man. We encourage each other, and you know what I mean. I got a lot that I want to share with everybody about both of these brothers because they're doing a lot in the community. They're very active, so I want to make sure I have time for that towards the end of the show, so they can share some of the things that they're doing. But we're just gonna go right on in with Mr. Paris White here.
Okay.
How you doing today, Paris? What's going on, buddy?
Doing good, doing good. It's a nice cool day outside, so I was out and about a little bit.
Yeah, it does feel a little good out there. You can tell summer's starting to dwindle down a little bit. You know what I mean? No more really too hot days. I hope. I can't stand that humidity at all.
Right.
But yeah, we're gonna let you go ahead with your first poem, man. Tell us a
Okay.
little bit about yourself though before you get started. I met Paris at a social networking event last month through What Up Baltimore Online Radio and my brother Kevin Curry. And I met Paris there. Paris was a vendor. He's got a lot of different things going on. He's an author. He has a wonderful game that he's invented that I want to share with you guys towards the end of the show. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Paris.
Okay. Like you said, I'm a board game designer. I'm an author and an illustrator. I wear a lot of hats now, with running my own business, and things have been doing really good with the game. It's about to be in the Smithsonian. I'm working with the Kennedy Center. I was teaching at Kramer Middle School where we worked on an outside virtual board game that I came up with the students and created and helped them kind of develop their God-given talents, their mastery skill, try to, get them to see where their future is going to head, lead them down the line. So a lot of things has been happening in a short amount of time since December the 15th when I released the game. It's been doing wonderful, wonderful numbers and doing really good and it's spreading around. And that's the thing that I wanted to get into more of our hands, more of our Black family hands, that we have something that represents us. And it's the board game, book, and trivia cards, all geared toward African American culture.
Absolutely. And I just want to say the trivia cards I have used me and my wife and a couple of our friends. The first time I brought it home, we used the trivia cards that night, and it was fun. It was interesting. A lot of stuff that we thought that we knew that we had no idea, honestly. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that was
even
that was
creating them.
yeah.
Yeah, even creating them, I learned as I was creating a trivia cards a lot about the different people that's in there, like Dr. Lonnie Johnson, who invented the Super Soaker and the Nerf gun. So there's a lot of information that's in there, something that definitely needed because they're not teaching it in our schools.
No, they are not. No, they are not. We're gonna let you go ahead in with your first poem. Paris.
Okay, just to give you a little background on this one. This is Trial of My Life. I probably wrote this when I was in my early 20s, my late 20s, and I wasn't sure where my life was heading and what direction I go in, but knew I was destined for something great like this. So this is the poem Trial of My Life. Okay.
All right.
Only time will tell the true outcome of my life, what I'm made of, my worth to my children and my wife, a clear conscience of all of the sins committed through time. How can I straighten out my vision going through life blind? A few words given at the most appropriate time to an eager crowd can make the difference to those who never were able to stand up proud. A change to the world is coming, and those who stand in the way will never live to see the dawning of a better day. Those that will appeal will do so in unthinkable numbers, but those few who died fighting we will always remember. The blood from the wars will stain the soil beneath our feet. Forever we will trample the souls of those who died to be free. It is time for us to unite and become the leaders of our children, and our children's children will benefit from what we given to them. Let the songs of suffering souls ring loud into the ears of our oppressors. Our teachings, our glories, and our memories will be the predecessors, and our lives will have been well spent for the price of freedom. And my life will have solidity, the foundation of my confessions. And when I stand in judgment for my rites of passage, do I deserve to be amongst God's most righteous? I might just. Life made me strong. To my family, I was priceless.
Damn. All right. We just starting off deep, I see already. And what was the name of that again? You said, Price?
Trial of My Life.
Trial of My Life. Man, that was very good. Okay, so man, that was a lot in there. How old were you when you first wrote that poem? Do you remember?
I was 28. And, at that point, I realized that I had wasted a lot of my time, my college years, not, really having a focus on the direction that I wanted. I wanted to do architecture, but, that didn't really pan out the way that I wanted to. And it just wasn't my passion, but writing was my passion. And it was like an outlet for me to try to figure out what I wanted to do in life. And that's one of those poems. But most of my poetry is geared around, my love of my wife and some of the things that I've gone through. And even, I write love poetry. So I'm not a poet that, slams other poets or anything like that. But this is, just my experiences in life and how, what got me to this point.
So you the guy that can write poems for the gentleman that can't write at all. You the one that can write poems.
Yeah. That first one was just something. I didn't want to come out right out the gate with a love poem, So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of depth of even, how when you're growing up and you're not sure what you want to do in life, and you're destined for something great, and you just have to find that talent.
Has writing always been something that you went to whenever you were having all different types of emotions in life?
Yes, definitely. It was like an outlet for me, and doing like poetry shows and stuff like that was, to prove to myself that I was good enough, and what I wrote was, could stand up with anyone else that was doing poetry. So it was almost like a rites of passage for me.
Got you. Absolutely. Jeremy Freedom Writer Johnson, my brother, how you doing, man?
What's happening, brother?
Can't complain, bro. Can't complain. It's good to see you, man.
Always. I appreciate you. Appreciate the invite.
Absolutely, man. Always a pleasure to have you on. Tell the people a little bit about yourself before you get into your first poem, bro.
Before we start, just say Paris, good poem, man. I really, especially the part about your generation, kids to be good. And that part stood out to me, but it was dope. Nice sharing the show with you. Good to meet you, brother.
Thank you very much.
All right. I'm go by the name of Freedom Writer. I'm a poet, like you said, from the DMV area. I just share poetry. That's what I enjoy doing.
And you do it well, my brother. You definitely do it well. Well, whenever you're ready, man, you can go right on in, bro.
We're gonna go. No way her new dude an upgrade. Give it 13 months. She James Harden, requesting a trade. Houston, we got a problem if she think he walking in these Nikes. No Delonte West, but somebody check her psyche. The goal was a ring like Bron when he played in South Beach. We used to be on cloud nine. We used to be next to the stars. And now those stars are out of reach. New dude, a good dude. I'm sure he is. But when he asks you whose it is, you better not say his. See, I got videos and I got photos. Remember when I put ice on your box and ate it like Froyo? My heart turned into an ice box when I saw the photos. The caption read, "This the happiest I ever been. Finally found true love. And soon I'll be marrying my best friend." Meth feeling. But to counter, I love some, took some for granted. Like Trump, holding back information, trying not to cause a panic, trying not to do too much damage to her. So I liked the picture and kept scrolling. Woke up to the craziest message the next morning. Like a 6-year-old at recess, she slid into my DMs. The message read, "How are you?" and things with the BM. "Congratulations on the new baby. She must be special when you making her your special lady. Me and you, we got history. I'm talking like Martin and Gina, Overton and Sinclair, Cliff and Claire, like Japan against America, war against you. I didn't mean to declare, but at the time, I couldn't control these emotions. Like the Titanic, I left you stranded in the ocean. Like a good book, I regret that I finished you. People tell me they're sorry for the breakup. I tell them that makes two. More dots pop up. I shouldn't be saying this. I'm tipsy. The Ciroc got me saying this. In a few months, I'll be saying I'll do. And when I say those two words, pardon me, wish I was saying them to you.
My man, always on point, man. Love it.
Nice job.
Yeah, I love that one, man. You know, this is as I'm sitting here listening to both of y'all, and it just really hit me while Freedom Writer was just doing his, and Freedom Writer, that was awesome. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you,
Um,
brother.
but it just hit me, you know what I mean, that this like stigma or this thing of us as black men not being able to share our emotions or be emotional, you know what I mean, in front of the world without being violent or something crazy of that nature. To have two brothers on here who speak very well, who are wonderful poets and who are doing things in the community. Um, this is a pleasure for me. It really is, brothers. I really appreciate y'all being on, man. This means a lot to me because I want our younger generation in our community to see um, some of the things that our brothers and sisters are doing out here. You know what I mean? To earn a living. I mean, it's hard out here right now. So these kids need different outlets. You know what I mean? I believe so. Jeremy, I mean, Freedom, right? I appreciate you, man. That was awesome.
For
That
sure,
was
brother.
absolutely
For
awesome.
sure.
Um, to be able to put your feelings out there like that, like what was that like? And well, first of all, let me ask you: did you get a lot of flack for that poem that you wrote, like when you first started sharing it?
That particular one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm in a relationship, and I think my girl thought it was about a particular person, and it's more of a hypothetical. It's nobody really slid into my DMs, or anything of that nature. But it was a way for me again to just express, like you said, use it as an outlet to express, how I'm feeling, what I'm going through. And actually, the first line of that, I just heard in a song. Somebody was like, I forgot who said the song, but he was like, your new dude's a downgrade. And I just went off that and ran with it. And I think with my poetry, it's so relatable because I'm often telling a story. It's like even I'm going through or somebody that I know is going through it. So like it makes the poetry relatable. And a lot of people, my male friends, brothers, is like, man, that remind me of my situation. So people get something out of it, I guess to say.
Yeah, it's good that you you put the that we're organic about our feelings of putting it out there. Because everybody don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Everybody don't want to put that self out there.
And I ain't always been able to do that, and I think as Paris was saying, you grow, and I think with growth, you understand that it's okay to do so. You know, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay not to know. As a man, it's okay not to have the answers. It's okay to be scared. You know, and I think once I became a father, that's what really I read one of the messages I really want to preach to my sons, that it's like you said, it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to share those emotions, you know, and should nobody give you any flack for doing that if you're doing it in a creative way. You know, you're not being destructive or anything with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. Paris, what you got for us next, bro? You got anything you want to add to that, Paris, from what you heard?
No, no, no. It was great. I love the way your cadence. I love the way you did
Yeah.
that. It was fire, and definitely you took the time to memorize it. You know, I have my poems, but my poems are, I can't get them down to memory like that. I'm not that good yet.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's still
Yeah.
it still moves somebody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It definitely still
Mhm.
moves somebody. Before we let you go, Press, I want to say shout out to Van, So Happy Green, for watching. She's always watching, supporting me. Thank you, sis. They love both you. Well, she loved both of the poems that you guys just did. She said, y'all better go. Go ahead, brother.
All right.
So, my man Paris, what you got for us next, bro?
All right. This is a poem that I wrote for my wife when we first dated, first was dating, and this is a poem I wrote after one of the dates that we had. So
Okay.
it's called Sunshine. That's actually what my nickname for my wife. So this is
Gotcha.
this is Sunshine.
All right.
Each thought of you is a keystroke of a symphony playing, a brilliant masterpiece of memories of beauty. Close your eyes so you can see what I'm feeling. I want to keep you close to me, so I carry you in my heart, leading me to believe that happiness lives within, which means the reality of us finally being together can't be far. Can you fathom that every time I see you, I fall in love again? In my thoughts, dreams, pictures, and on dates, that number rivals the time the sun rises and sets down again. That's why I call you sunshine. Words can never truly express how I feel inside. Only abstract visions of the impossible could come close. Like I live within the music of love, I'm in the groove and I can feel the vibe. I see the beauty in everything now, the magic of silence when the world stands still. Just for that moment as you enter the room, and I'm like, wow. The evenings are electrified with the anticipations of pleasures unknown. Suddenly, the intellect starts to stimulate, and words are more alluring than a physical. And I'm totally captivated, entranced, drawn to your magnificent glow. That's why I call you sunshine. Embraces with the city as a backdrop while the music plays and the lights dim low. Your kisses are like diamonds, rare and precious, so I treasure each one. Inhibitions, restraints, and what was suppressed is lost as I'm given a show. Your meticulous preparation for tonight has my five senses tingling uncontrollably. You smell and look intoxicating. As I taste your lips, I feel your body tremble as moans fill the air. I feel like making love to you forever isn't long enough, so I steal time from eternity. All
Hmm.
dreams, fantasies, and erotic thoughts converge on this bed we lay on. If this isn't heaven, then when I die, I want to be here right in your arms. As the day passes and the night ends, we can see the light of the dawn. That's why I call you sunshine.
Man. Yeah, buddy. How often do you say that to your wife? Because that's a good one right there, bro. I mean,
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones to her. There's a line in there that I like. I don't know if a lot of people caught it and stuff like that, but one of the parts that says is that your five senses, meticulous preparation for tonight has my five senses tingling uncontrollably. And then I goes into say you smell and look intoxicating as I taste your lips. I can feel your moan, feel your body tremble as your moan. So it's the all five senses right there. I just threw in there like that. So that's one of my favorite lines of things that I wrote.
yeah, man, you have a style of your own. This is one thing I love, man, about poetry and spoken word and stuff. Everybody has their own unique style, you know what I mean? And your voice matches with the words that you're saying. I love the words that you're using, and you're not just using just everyday words, perpetual and all that. Like that's not stuff. You know what I mean? It's not too easy to put in the poetry, and to be coming from the heart like that, though. That's awesome. You know what I
Thank
mean? That really is awesome. You said that was something that you wrote after your first date, or yeah, your first date, right? It wasn't before
you. Yeah.
y'all went out.
Yeah, this was after the date that we had, and we had a really nice night, and we went out and we came back, and the evening was just so great. So a lot of my poems are after we have these moments that I put it on paper because I want to capture them, so I don't never lose what that feeling was like.
Man, I love it. That's a good idea, man. I love it. I love it. Jeremy, how you feel about that, bro?
That was lit. That was lit. I was just thinking like she can't be mad at you never, because like all you do is just perform that joint, right? Like and then you good. Like
Right. The part about making love to you forever is not enough. Like
right.
that's
I thought
damn.
that too.
Yeah,
And and they say
That's
I've spent eternity, which if this is heaven, I in your arms. I'd rather
yeah,
be in your arms. Yeah, as the days pass, and I was yeah, I'm with
yeah.
you.
Thank you.
yeah, man. You might have some brothers hitting you up prior so you can write some poems for us when we all in the doghouse, man. I tell you.
Yeah, yeah, for
Exactly.
sure. It's gotten me out of the doghouse a couple
For
of times.
sure,
I
as it
bet it has. I
should,
bet
as
it
it
has.
should.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it has. My man. All right, Jared, Freedom Writer, what you got for us next, bro?
And let me give y'all a disclaimer, right? So I'm in my car and I pull over. It seemed like a good spot, but as you can hear in the background, it's a lot. I swear somebody, I don't know what's going on across the street, but it's a lot going on. So forgive me if the train passes by every randomly. I'll speak up when it comes.
It's all good, bro.
That's my disclaimer, but I just wanted to be a part of the show. So I just pulled on over, did my thing.
It's all good.
All right. Okay, so if you follow me on any social media, you know from time to time I release a new poem, usually on Fridays. Call it Free to Writer Fridays. It's usually a freestyle that I just put out, sort of not writing or anything like that. And this one particular one is a two-parter. So thought of the first part and thought of the second part, and now they're cut it together. But it's about my sons, and again about the conversation we had earlier. Just giving them game. Just I can't really walk the walk for you, but if you listen to me, hopefully, it'll be a light, to get you to where you need to go. And this is the poem about that. Like Logo Lilith, my son say, "Daddy, I got it." I took a step back, looked at him, like who the you think you talking to? But like Juneteenth, I had to celebrate his independence. My little baby ain't the baby no more, but he one hell of a big brother. Like Aaron and Justin, he gonna take care of Drew. And my job is to make sure that you become the best version of you. And any dream you have starts and ends with you. Life like spades, you gotta play to win. Never judge another man. We all sit like the Cavs. Without love, you won't win. AI your fears like he did Tyloo. Be a dog and a Hoya, like be a dog and mission minded like Aminu. What I'm trying to say is, son, I love you. I know I need to say it and show it more, but you should have met me before. No Latin, but I put all my emotions in a bottle. 12 o'clock boy, going nowhere fast, full throttle. I'm supposed to be teaching you, but you my role model. And that's all I got for that one. I'm still building it up.
Yeah, I love it though, man.
That
I
was
love it.
nice. That was nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. What I mean, you said your sons is the inspiration for that. I got two daughters, man. I got a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old. And I worry. I don't want to say I worry about them all the time, but with the times that we living in now, it's just so different. I'm
Mm-hmm.
concerned. You know what I mean? I'm one of those dads. I'm always, I want to talk to them and see where their mind is every day, see what they feel and things of that nature. So I definitely understand writing poetry about our children. You know, as black men, well, as any man really with children, we all love our kids, no matter what race you are. We all love our children. But I love it, man. That was wonderful to the heart. Letting your son know how you feel about him, and that's what I'm saying. A lot. You'd be surprised how many kids have never heard the words "I love you" from their parent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I got a few friends that I grew up with. It's like that was foreign to them. Their parents it just wasn't like that, and that may have been something that happened with their parents. That wasn't even it was just a cycle. You know what I mean? So I commend you on that, brother.
I
All right,
appreciate it.
my man, Paris, what you got? You got something you want to say about that one, Paris, before you go?
Oh yeah, it was one line he put in there. He was like, you know, riding 12 o'clock full throttle. I like that, you know. And just like you said, you know, it's hard to write a poem for your child, you know, about your child, because it took me years to write one for my daughter, even, you know, after her birth. So, you know, I commend you on that poem. You write a lot of poems for your kids?
Whatever comes, you know, I, I
Hmm.
I I rarely sit down, you know, and be like, I'm in the zone, I'm about to write. It doesn't flow that way. Like usually I'll be driving and or hear something in a song, and then I'll start building a poem in my head. I'll start building it in my head, and then I do a video. But like actually struggle, sitting. I would probably struggle if I sat down and be like, I'm gonna write a poem about my son, because the emotions, it'll be a block there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So for me, like being able to just kind of freestyle it and build it up
Hmm.
is kind of my lane. Is how I do it.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of similar to that too. I gotta feel it. I can't
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes I can't just pick a topic and sit down and write about it. I gotta have an inspiration a lot
right,
of times,
right.
Yeah.
or a feeling. I have been practicing some of that. There's a I took my girls love to go to Five and Below. So I was in there with them one day, and I found a poetry book actually. And what it does is it has maybe 4 or 5 different words on each page, and you have to create a poem that where you can insert every last one of those words in your poem. So the first page may have like 6 words on there that are all relatable. So the poem that you structure has to have all of those words in it. You know what I
Got
mean? It's very interesting. And I feel as though it's a good way to, I'm always trying to find ways to sharpen my skills when it comes to spoken
for
word and
sure.
poetry.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's a pretty cool idea of how they did that. I really like that. Um, man. So okay, that was who just went? That was Jeremy. So Paris, you
Yeah.
got any more? You got another one for us, bro?
Yeah, I got another one.
Okay.
This is a poem that I wrote again for my wife, and this is years down the line. And you know how you want to have an intimate evening, and you're at work, so you kind of get that call. So this is that poem. Okay.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
All right, and this one's called My Power. Okay. She said, "I love you. I can't wait to see you. Even after so many years, her I love you still holds so much power. And I still have hours. Each minute feels like an eternity. A fantasy about, I'm sorry, each minute feels like an eternity. I fantasize about you constantly. Every second steeps my fire. By midday, my aura reeks of desire." She said, "Hey, I sent you a pic." Opened up my messenger, saw it. Damn. Looked at it so many times, my phone lost power. And I only have a few more hours. In a minute, I will be in your embrace. I find you wrapped in sheer with a hint of lace. But first, a quick second to shower. Visions of us climaxing only intensifies my hunger. She said, I've been I've been thinking about you all day. With one hand, she slowly removed my towel. With the other hand on the light switch, she turned off the power. We make love for hours. One minute she straddled on top of me in complete euphoria. My hand caresses her most moist silhouette as she begs for more. The next second, I have a fistful of hair and I'm right behind her. She twerking that thing like a nigga throwing dollars.
Mm.
She said, "Oh, I'm about to come." There's a storm outside. Just as I thrust, lightning strikes. Boom. And the whole street lost power. We lay in each other's arms for hours. For a minute, we told each other how strong our love was, that we were destined, soulmates, blessed to find true love. A second later, I was knocked out cold with a smile, like I'm the luckiest man in the world, drained of all my power.
Mm. Paris. Yeah. Power.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I could have read
Man.
that one a lot better. You know, I usually do this sexy voice, but I couldn't do it. I'm much
Hey,
kinder. But,
man, that was wonderful. I know you going into a different mode when you
yeah,
saying it to your wife. Of course, you
yeah,
you
yeah,
turn the
yeah,
bird white, bird tone. You know what I mean? I know I
yeah,
feel you, but Man, that was good, Paris, man. I mean, that was
Yeah.
good. That was good. Shout out to Lady J, one of the I'm sorry, the owner of the show. She loved that poem. She said, "Oh my God, that was great." Um, yeah, man. I mean, power.
Yeah.
I lost my power. I like the part when you talk about the boom and the lightning strike. Like
Yeah.
that and it was and you know, it was very tasteful too, though. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? It was very tasteful, especially to be something that you wrote for your wife, man. I know she loves your poetry, man. That's um you have a knack for that. And you said that's mostly what you write is like
Love
love stuff
poetry.
or stuff about your wife.
Yeah. Hmm.
Do
Yeah,
you
she's
have
like
you
my
have
she's my muse for a lot of years. She was my muse, and I just take those experiences. And I, like I said, I have a poetry book coming out real soon, and I have a lot of poetry that I could have. But these poems that I wrote was just like surface. So, I didn't want to go too deep on the too much. I didn't want to have something that was way out there on the show. But when you read my poetry, you'll see a lot of love poems, a lot of poems, or I'm even writing from a female's perspective, and of how like a woman being abused, her kids, or even from a kid's point of view, where kids are listening to their mother get abused and eventually, killed. I'm really deep with a lot of poetry, but these ones that I did, it's a it's a great book that you'll see that the range that I have and the different types of styles that I can do. And I even, like you were saying, the poem that you did for your son, I wrote one for my daughter, which is a poetry puzzle where it's one poem written one way. If you read it backwards, it's another poem. It has a poem in there that's, you read it one way in one sentence, it means something else. But if you read it backwards the other way, it means a whole nother meaning, but the same words. You understand what I'm saying? And each
mm,
letter of the first word is a message to my daughter that says, "I love you, Paris." And then each word going up is a message to my daughter. It's just, it's so many things. And that was like one of those smart poems I wrote for my daughter when she went off to college. And I'm just saying, if I'm this smart to write this poem that's a poem inside of a poem with messages, then you could definitely do great in school. So I'm gonna get that to you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It's hard to explain, but if you see it, you'll be like, wow, I can't believe that there's so much in this one poem.
that sounds interesting though, man. And that couldn't have been easy to create. How long did it take you to create that poem?
Yeah, one night,
Are you
I
One.
what?
yeah, one night I like you said, you got to be inspired. And for me, I listen, like you said, you listen to music, but and then I zone out to the music, and I'm trying to find, once I get that first sentence to start it, it just
Right.
pours out after that. It's almost inspirational. So it's just like I said, I have a lot of different styles in my poem where you be like, wow, I see how you link these words together, or link these sentences together. Is definitely something that you guys would definitely enjoy once you see it.
Man, doing that in a night, like I can't even fathom that right there. I
That's
really
that's
can't.
tough. That's different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you,
that's
yeah.
different.
when you
That
see
was
it,
that.
you'll be amazed. I'll send it to you so you can have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me see that when you get a chance, because I would love to see that. But that's like, what made you come up with that though? You said you was inspired to write it, but was it because she was going away to school? You wanted her to have something that she could look at and feel daddy and feel home. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Like all of my poetry was either, love poetry or something else. And I never wrote anything for her, in particular. You have a daughter and you want to, I didn't know at, at what age that she would really understand. So I waited till she was old enough to really appreciate it, and then I wrote it for her. And, it came out really, really good. And I definitely got to get it to you so you can see it. Words doesn't do it any justice. And it might be the greatest poem of any greatest thing I ever wrote in my life. Because if you look at it, it's like, well, how can you take each word, create a line of poetry from it, and still link it with everything else that it is, and then read it backwards, and it's still a poem backwards, the whole poem. So it's really great.
It's absolutely wonderful, especially I can't get over the night just doing it in one night. I can't I can't get past that, man. I mean,
Man, it
that's
probably took me
awesome.
about 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, but I got it done. But like I say, once I get in that zone, I get it down, and I usually don't get up until it's finished. You know, I don't even most of the time I don't even have to go back and reword anything because, you know, once I got it out and it's where it is, I've done all the things I needed to do to it and it's ready to go.
Wow. Jeremy, what you think? Freedom Writer, I'm sorry. What do you think about that, bro? That's
I'm
like
still on
one
the
night.
yeah. That's like I said. That's different. Like I don't even think I could. That's different. Like
It is.
I don't
It
know how
is.
you could come up with that. You know what I mean? And I would love to hear it too. You know, love to see it too.
Yeah, that's definitely talent right there. I would rack my brain trying to
Yeah,
figure that out. I really would, man.
and
That
then
would
make it make sense.
make
You know?
sense, right? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And that's the
That's
thing, to make it make sense. That was, you know, really, you know, a big part of it, to make it make sense, you know, and how to, you know, include her name, you know, you know, I call her Sweetie. So I had to make sure I had you know, a word to go with, you know, with everything. Like I said, I have to send it to you. So it's hard to explain.
I get it.
yeah, I definitely get it too. But that's like creativity at its highest level right there, brother. I mean,
Mhm.
really good. Jeremy, with Freedom Writer, I'm sorry, I keep saying that. What you got for us next, bro?
What we got? One or two left.
You got one left.
Look, all right. I'm still stuck on. He said, I'm about to text my girl, but why you don't send me no pictures? You know, like you know, he said the picture so long his phone lost power. Like I'm about to I'm about to go home and start some stuff, y'all. You got
I hear you, bro.
blame it on parents. Nah. Uh, which way we gonna go? I'm trying to do stuff that y'all can hear. John, you know, but Paris and all the other listeners know that, you know, behind the portrait I'm doing, there's usually music behind it. And then on all your music platforms, these poems are available. And I'm doing has not the last one I did because that's a freestyle, but the first one I did and the one I'm about to do has music behind it. If you follow me, you know, I connect with you, send it to you, the information, but also all the listeners as well. All your music platforms, Spotify, YouTube Music, Pandora, all of that, and then you type in Freedom Writer. Name should come up. Probably ain't up there, but the top ones you probably have to type in a title. But this one right here is called "Talk About It Freestyle." All right.
Okay.
Where we at? I seem to only write when my heart's heavy. I'm emotional. I'm still shedding tears for my bro, Jay Selly. Good dude, wrong time. Good dude, wrong time. Both last name Johnson, so it makes sense. His life was similar to mine, cause I've been in similar situations. Only made it out cause God good graces and my granny's prayers. My mama said there'll be days like this, but she ain't say they came in pairs. Anxiety brought depression as its plus one. A break like a taxi in New York, can't catch one. Like Jody told them baby gangsters, chin up, don't run. That's the same advice I told my son. Adversity, you gonna face some. I remember the cause like it was yesterday. Nightly, I'm praying to God that he takes the pain away. 2020, I became MJ. A few people I had to fade away. No hard feelings like Lucci, I wish them well. But like Jack, I know if I fail, they wouldn't help me refill my pail. So like the coronavirus, I'ma keep my distance. The phone worked two ways. Stop telling people that I'm being distant. Would have made it to the league only if it was 18 spots on the Pistons. Opportunities, I had some. When they knocked, I didn't come. So remorse, I'm living with some. Every room I walk in, it's an elephant in it. No more anxiety meds. The discomfort, I gotta sit in it. That was until I stood up, gave myself a round of applause. Like John, my back be against the wall. From all the disappointment, explains why my heart hardened. April 13th, my life changed forever. Internal conversation saying, Germs, you gotta do better. No more YOLO, now it's FOE. My son's success depends on me. To get something you never had, you gotta be willing to do some shit you never did. Lessons I ain't learned until after the birth of my kid. Like running out of gas, you gotta keep pushing. I don't care what's in front of you. Don't you abandon that mission.
Awesome, brother.
Nice,
Awesome, brother.
nice,
Yeah, I
nice.
love it, man. You Your flow, man. You got your own flow too. I told you that when I first heard your poetry. You know what I mean? Um, I love this poem that you just did. You have another one that I love too, that Dead Man Walking. Y'all got to check both of these gentlemen out on Facebook, Instagram, all of the social media outlets. Jeremy Freedom Writer Johnson does have a plethora of music on all of the musical platforms, so you want to check it out. He's got a lot of nice music. Before we get out of here, I got about 10 to 15 minutes left. So I want to give y'all time to really, talk about and plug a lot of the things that you're doing in the community, if any. Um, Jeremy, I know, has a lot of things going on. I want you to go first about whatever you got going on and any upcoming events, any poetry events, any way that we can follow you and see more of your poetry.
For starters, John, I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the show giving, poets and, people in general, an opportunity to express themselves. You don't have to be on a Jay-Z level, to be able to be heard. So you give us the opportunity to share our passion and share, our thoughts and everything that comes with that. So again, I appreciate you and Lady J and everybody, behind the scenes that make this happen. And, this is my second time through. So again, I appreciate the invite. As for poetry, my goal is to get out and do more shows and, open mics and things of that nature. But I do have a lot of stuff outside of, poetry going on, being a father, family man, doing other things. So I don't get out as much. So that's why I decided to share videos and things of that nature. So if you do follow me on Instagram, it's poet_freedom writer, Facebook, Jeremy Freedom Writer Johnson. Again, I just appreciate the opportunity. Outside of poetry, I wrote a TV show. Started last summer and I completed. I'm right into the second season now, and I'm reached out to a couple production companies, and I'm almost there. We're almost there, getting things down, the ink down, the paper. That's probably one of the greatest accomplishments just to get to this point. I don't think we give ourselves enough credit, just to get to where we are. I think we always just hit a home run and sometimes getting the first base is okay. And just to come up and say, I want to write a TV show, and not know anybody in that space or not even knowing if it's good enough. And for somebody to say, hey, we believe in this show and we want to, get it to the TV. Let's link up. Let's do what we do. This is a great accomplishment. So I know I'm not there yet, so I can't share too much about the show, but it is entitled Two, and it's a dramedy, which is a drama and a comedy. It's about two brothers who tragically lose their parents suddenly. And it's just about how, that they deal with that trauma, deal with that grief, that loss. And as we talked about men, I don't think there's too many shows that kind of put us that make us vulnerable, the shows that we can watch and that we connect to and be like, oh, okay, he's telling my story, and I think that's what the highlight of the show is. Just allowing us men, all races, to talk about the things that we talk, that we go through, that, maybe we don't share because, we're going to get looked at different, or we're going to be judged. You're not a real man. That's the famous quote, you're not a real man. So that's what the show is. So again, if you stay close to me, follow me, more details coming with that. I am a business owner as well, a social society. I make my money as a recreation therapist. So that's my private practice. I'm partnering with Baltimore City for my Play for Fitness program, which is basically a fitness program catered to kids, and the team building aspects of it. I think during COVID, the biggest thing was the social aspect. A lot of people glued into their phones and things of that nature, and kids, they weren't able to get out. Sports were canceled. All the stuff that you can do for fun that brings that social, that fellowship that kids miss. That's what my program is about, and I'm supposed to be partnering with Baltimore City. I have a couple rec centers that we're working on the contracts with. Again, anybody in Baltimore with kids, stay close to me. I'll let you know the dates, and that's it. So again, I appreciate the time.
Absolutely, you definitely want to follow my brother Jeremy Freedom Writer Johnson. My man Paris White. Before you get started, man, I want to show everybody some of your stuff. This is the book that my brother is talking about. I mean, he's got the flashcards,
Trivia
what do you call it? I'm sorry.
the legendary trivia cards.
Trivia, right? Legendary trivia cards. This was a lot of fun. I'm telling you, this with your friends. It's a lot of fun. It's all about Black African American entertainers, sports players, inventors, everything is in here. You gotta guess who it is. They give you all types of wonderful clues. And then one of my favorites, man, right here. I'm still blown away about this. This is a board game that Paris has created. Okay, It's called the Urban Legend. I'm gonna let you talk about it a little bit, Jeremy. I'm sorry, Paris, because I mean, this is all about us, y'all. This is all for us, all about us. And to be able to present this to my children, Paris, you don't know what that was like the first night when I brought this home, man. I'm very proud of both of y'all. I really am. But this is a game changer.
Yes.
But no, seriously, this is a game changer, though, man, because this is just absolutely awesome. I can't get over it. So please talk to us about what it is, and just talk to us about it. I want to show this one more time. The Urban Legend. You can go to his website and get this game. You want to get the game. You want to get the trivia card. You want to get the book. You want to get the whole nine, and then it all relates as well too. So I'm gonna let Paris talk to y'all about that.
Okay. First of all, John, I just want to thank you. Like Jeremy, Freedom Writer said, thank you so much for having me on the show. Thank you for the opportunity. There's people like you and Lady J that, gives us a voice, the opportunity to, to expand beyond where we are. It's about reaching people and networking. And you've done both of those things with me, brother. And I really do appreciate it. Jeremy, you fine, man. You inspire me to do, better things, get my stuff down packed and get my poetry book out there. Because, if I got to come up, deal with brothers like you out there, I got to step my game up a lot. So I really do appreciate the you being on here and then just hearing your poetry. You got a new fan for sure.
For sure,
So
bro. We
I'm gonna be
definitely
listening
connect.
to you. Yes,
For
sir.
sure.
Yes, sir. A little bit about the game. Like you said, it's a board game, book, and trivia card series, all geared toward African American culture. And I created this because there is none. There's a few games, there's few board game makers, but nothing that's a all black game. And if no one else was going to do it, something for our families, it had to be me because I wrote the book first, and the book tells my childhood stories, and these are actually my stories I told to my daughter when she was young to help her go to sleep. And my wife encouraged me to write those stories into a book one day, and it took me a little minute to write it because just like most authors, you pick it up, put it down. But in the middle of writing the book, we went to go look for a board game, something that represented us, and there was nothing. We went to Walmart, Target, all the stores. We even, went online. It was nothing. So we sat down and came up with some ideas for the board game and just used the book as a background to create it. And it always was supposed to be an educational game too that taught our history, because at the same time I was looking for a game, there was no trivia cards, nothing that taught our history. And if it did find anything, it talked about the same people, Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, but it didn't give us, current and future legends. So I took it upon myself to create it myself, and it was a new avenue for me to go down. But I stuck to it, and I got it done. I made sure I put out a great product. The game is quality, and it's so educational. Like John was said, the book tells the story of the board game. So your kids will play the game and read about the characters in the game. So it gives it room for expansion. And the board game tells the story of what I did on my last day of school to make it through my neighborhood during the hottest summer and all the adventures I had in between to trying to stay cool. And the really cool part about the trivia cards that John was showing you that, all of this is my art. And a lot of this art came to me spiritually. And so much of my family in the board game, my daughter, my wife, my mother, my cousins, my brothers, my grandmother, even my goddaughter is in there. So it's really my life into the game is, it's nothing short of an extension of myself. And the trivia cards, the cool part of that, it's a trivia game by itself that teaches about African American artists, inventors, athletes, scholars, and leaders of our time. Half male, half female for each category. So it's very diverse. And then the cool part about it that you can incorporate them into the board game, because most kids, you show them a trivia game, they don't want to play a trivia game, they don't want to learn, but when you include it into a board game, it's easily incorporated. So, say like if you guess Aretha Franklin, it'll say RESBECT, move 6 more spaces for me, or Richard Pryor would be, now that's funny, roll again, or Simone Biles is the judges give you a 10 spaces instead of a 10 like you would get on, in gymnastics. So it's a really intelligent way that the cards are incorporated, and schools are loving it. I just met someone from PG County Parks and Recreation. I met someone the other day from DC Parks and Recreation. Like I said, I taught it in Kramer Middle School. The kids loved it. We did an outside board game where we incorporate water guns, not water guns, water cannons, and water tubes that spray the water. I don't like to say guns for school, but water tubes that spray water, and water balloons. So the kids were able to, see and create something really, really fun, and they saw how my creative mind worked. And it was like, man, you sat at home and you came up with this, you thought of this. And it was literally in one night. I went out and bought the chalk, and I said, I'm gonna draw a board game on the playground that incorporated the basketball court. And I went out there and I drew it in one day. And it was just, me drawing on the ground, and it came out really, really well. Later on, I'll send you a video of the kids playing. But, what I'm hoping is that this just spreads around the country, because it's my passion. I'm not even doing this to be rich or for fame or anything like this. This is something that my daughter and my wife can have when I'm gone. Most men feel as though, Black men's life expectancy is short already. So this is something I really did to, be here when I'm gone, something that'll take care of my family. So, and it's a series. So this is the first board game, book, and trivia cards of a 4-part series. And the next board game incorporate our childhood games like red light, green light, freeze tag, hide and seek, hot peas and butter. In the book, you'll learn how we turn those games into the Olympics and go outside and play those same games, because kids don't get out and play anymore. And then the board game is going to be an obstacle course around the neighborhood. So you may pick a card and have to play red light, green light to make it back to your seat, or bubble gum in a dish. So it's our culture and our history, rich and beautiful it is in a board game, something that's for us.
It's absolutely wonderful, man. Absolutely wonderful.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you can pick,
Go ahead.
and like John was said, you can pick this up on my website, which is the urbanlegendseries.com. Facebook and Instagram is the Urban Legend Series. Come back, go to the website, check it out, look at some of the pictures of the malls that I've been in, and some of the kids or families who sent back pictures, and some of the comments that they said. It's just been a really, really great run of things. And I just can't wait to see me and my wife was like, can you imagine 10 years from now where we'll be? I'm still trying to get to tomorrow, really. So
I hear you.
So
But
it's
that's
been
wonderful.
a really great thing. Yeah.
It's wonderful, man. I commend both of you brothers. I congratulate both you guys on your endeavors. I pray and wish all the best for both of you guys. Today is August the 4th. My next on the 11th, next Wednesday. The Unusual Favor show will be back. Me and my wife have a wonderful, wonderful couple on, Derek Newkirk and Cassandra, Queen of the Pen Newkirk. Cassandra and Derek, I met at a book expo, our Urban Reads Book Expo. Shout out to Tia Hamilton. I met them at that expo, found out that Cassandra was a poet. I had her on the show. She was absolutely amazing. Her husband is a podcaster. You need to check his show out too, guys. It's called No Punctuation. He's got 2 episodes out. It's very good. It's very good. He's got a lot of insightful stuff. He's already talked about a book that I had ran to Amazon and ordered the day I heard his show. I went and got that book that he was talking about. But I appreciate you guys for coming on to Sunday, August 8th. August 8th, Sunday. Happy Nappy Poets in the Park at Gwynn Oak Park. You can catch me out there with my books and T-shirts under the tent, blue tent.
What time that's at?
That is from 1 to 8 o'clock at Gwynn Oak Park, Sunday, August 8th, from 1 to 8 o'clock. Shout out to Malika Cooper, who always does that. That's always a wonderful event. There's always good vendors there, food vendors. I mean, it's a good look. So I want to thank you, brothers, for coming on. God bless y'all, man. Keep doing what y'all doing. We need brothers like you in the community. If we keep doing what we're doing, and with brothers like y'all, we can make a change in this community. And like I always say, if you want to be blessed, you must bless somebody else. If you don't bless anybody else, there's no way you're going to be blessed. It's that simple. Brothers, I love y'all, man. I will stay in touch. Y'all be safe out here. I'll see y'all next time.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right.
Take it easy.